The focus has been on the Karnataka election. There have been some important by-polls and local body polls which are also going on. Let's just very quickly give you an update on those as well. In Uttar Pradesh, where there are local body polls and plus two important by-polls for the assembly constituencies are also going on. One in Mirzapur, Shanbhe, and the Swar, very important constituency, used to be the Samajwadi Party bastion in Rampur area, where Azam Khan's son Abdullah Azam was declared he disqualified, and then of course the by-polls are at this moment taking place. My colleague Saurabh Shukla at this moment. Okay, as we were about to go to him, we have lost that line. But Sanjeev, if I may come to you, for the local bodies, it's more or less looks like a clean sweep as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. In the Nagar Panchayat election, 125 is going to the BJP, 68 for the Samajwadi Party. It's also very important the way this entire Uttar Pradesh local body elections were also fought. Yogi Adityanath preferred to stay in his home state, did only a few rallies as far as Karnataka is concerned, and the BJP at this moment completely sweeping this election.
I think, Ankit, it was on expected lines.
Yeah.
We were not expecting much change to happen. The silver lining is that at least there is some opposition left in UP still, and we are seeing Samajwadi Party still winning some. So out of, I think...
and BJP, both of them are even Steven in the assembly by-poll. The Swar is switching to the BJP and Shanbhe is going to the Samajwadi Party.
Yeah, so I think Yogi Adityanath will be very happy if Swar Tanda actually goes to BJP, because the kind of, situation, political situation we've seen ever since Yogi became the chief minister. So I think he will take that without much worries.
Smita, will this in a way, with whatever is happening in, especially in Swar, is it almost the end as far as the road is concerned for Azam Khan? One, a towering figure as far as the UP politics goes in the Samajwadi Party. He has more or less become a campaign as far as the BJP is concerned. A particular campaign against Azam Khan by the entire BJP machinery. His son being disqualified, he losing the home ground as well. This possibly would be very, very difficult situation politically for him.
For Azam Khan, certainly. I mean, the BJP has sort of targeted him over a period of years, I mean, and you may say it's not linked, but it's also, you saw the way Atiq Ahmed was killed. So they have been running a kind of anti-Muslim campaign. It's nothing to do with, whether there are criminal cases against him or not, because after all, there's a law of the land.
Can I just tell you what the biggest issue in Swar Tanda has been, Sanjeev, for the last 20 years? The road. Because there have been battles between contractors for the last 20 years to control access to that road.
Okay.
There have been moon rocks, craters on that road, which has been unbelievable.
This is a problem familiar to Bengaluru as well.
Can I just finish my point?
We got Sunil Prabhu with a guest outside.
And that, in fact, is something which the Samajwadi Party and the BJP have been fighting on through their contractor lobbyists for the longest time. Perhaps that's going to be resolved.
Right, let's just go across to Sunil Prabhu in Bangalore outside DK Shiv Kumar's residence. Sunil, please go ahead.
ಯೂತ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು
So I have with me a guest right now, Mr. The Youth Congress President. How do you look at this victory?
I'm very, very happy. The people of Karnataka have chosen Congress because they're sick and tired of this 40% commission government. And the people of Karnataka always wanted the change. And we had kept asking the people to give a clear mandate where we didn't have to go with anyone. So we are really the people be prosperous in the next 5 years.
This is now a fight. Mr. Siddharama is also not going to give up.
In just a moment over there. Our initial reactions, the Youth Congress President over there coming in from Karnataka. So in case, now let's just turn our attention once again back to Karnataka. That's the situation right now for the Congress Party in terms of leads. It's been going up between 116 and 120 for the longest time now. It's up 40 from last time, so it is a huge jump. But I think as you look at those BJP numbers, it's equally important to point out that the vote share in as far as the BJP is concerned, it's not changed at all. So let's see if it has. As of about half an hour back, it hadn't. So let's bring up that vote share graphic. This is the one we are talking about. The Karnataka vote share is 44% for the Congress, 36% for the BJP. So what's the change for the BJP? As you can see, 0%. So there's no change for the BJP over there, but there has been obviously a change as far as seats are concerned in the state. So in case you're just wondering, and I certainly am, Ankit, how soon will we actually know who's winning the elections? I think the process essentially is, and Sanjay, you might be in a better position to actually tell us. There are several rounds, obviously, through EVM counting. By when will we know, that this is it? Or do we wait till the evening and the ECI Election Commission announcement?
See, finally, the formal results will be announced only when Election Commission notifies. But I think by, it's 12:10. 10 past 12.
Yeah, 12:06.
So I think in a couple of hours we should be sure that this is going to be the result.
But there is not going to be a significant...
Our UTA time in Bangalore is fixed. Today is not going to be something where our UTA is under jeopardy.
So,
and that we are...
Since the morning, I have never seen the leads for the Congress touch up to anything like 144, which was the outlier high for most of the poll predictions. I have never... a lot of them.
One.
Okay, fine. Now, I'm happy to be corrected there. I've never seen the Congress go below a 70 figure. I have never seen the JDS wiped out to 12 or 14, which was one of the polls that said so. So this seems fairly stable as far as the BJP is concerned in terms of vote shares. But of course, once they will be mapped on to the regions, I think the hunch that I have is that very clearly the BJP would have got a lot more vote share in newer areas with lesser seats. And where they used to get the seats, they've not done as well.
No, they haven't. In fact, we've seen that in terms of the Leeds position. On the coast, in the west, the BJP has been losing out in its core constituency, and where they've lost out most is in the south. That's where the Congress has had most of its gains. In fact, let's just take a look at the region's situation. And Dr. Priyam, if you'd like to come in over here, the fact that the Congress is up 5 in this, which is an area where the BJP has done very strongly in the past, is significant. The BJP down 8 over here. They had won 18 seats last time around. Let's just take a look at one or two of the other areas. In Kalyan, it's the BJP down 4, the Congress up 3. So not a very significant jump for the Congress over here, but a substantial one. The BJP has gone down. Over here
this is where
in Kittur,
big gains for the Congress has come
massive. This and south. And the next one is south. If you take a look at this, and this is where the Congress is up 20.
And this is where the maximum losses for the
Dr.
JDS
Priya, would
as
you
well.
like to just take a look
at... clear that in Bombay, Karnataka, the Congress has done very well.
Yeah.
And that's an area where they should have done well. Yeah. Now, the fact is that there have been differences, skirmishes, the old language issues and the villages, which side are you going? You could see that the BJP ruling in both the states had the chief ministers colliding over development schemes and other things. I don't know, there will be an overlay of welfare schemes if the Congress is doing so well with promises of 10 kg rice and an unemployment allowance. I would say beneath the feet, there is a strong overlay of economic impoverishment of the population, and there is an alignment with what has been offered. And in this region, if the BJP is not done well, then the double engine of 2 neighboring states, the peer phenomena. And remember, Mr. Modi has done very well on peer phenomena in his own Gujarat elections. The Gujarat-Maharashtra border, people have said, oh, our Gujarat government is giving us a lot more than the Maharashtra government.
Would you say then the effort to transform has taken a setback? They still need to go back and rely on their old leaders, the old arithmetic, if they want to rebuild the party.
And old geographies and regions, remember 2 of them sitting there, and they will tell you that regions perhaps matter the most still in Karnataka elections. Yes, each region has its own narrative.
Okay, DK Shiv Kumar's visuals, ladies and gentlemen, the first visuals
that's the more
of DK Shiv Kumar. Look at the smiling man there standing at its window. People have been waiting since morning, just came to just
greet people,
say hi.
Ankit Maya, you've seen DK Shiv Kumar from the days where, his rise really happens under the SM Krishna regime, right?
Was
that a victory side?
I think he just came and did namaste. He's also being a little subdued. I found him a little more subdued after his time in Tihar jail, actually, compared to the very early Shiv Kumar. He was a young, vibrant MLA in the early days. He's worked his way up. He's been a congressman throughout, from the start, right from his young days. And he has been their troubleshooter, whether it was going in the rain to Mumbai to try and get those dissident MLAs to come back.
Okay,
whether it was
Maya,
shepherding
just one second. Let me just quickly go across to Pratibha, who's been waiting very patiently, and we're getting Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress in a little while from now. Pratibha, go ahead.
Well, we are all just standing under the sweltering heat, and looks like, however, the BJP leaders are the ones who are really sweating it out, holed up in meetings, stationed right outside the BJP office here. None of them who are really willing to react at this point in time. And right outside the BJP office, we also have a screen where the leads as well as the trends are being shown according to the regional channels here. Most of them seem to be BJP fans who are here gathered around to watch the numbers. I have with me a few BJP fans who are trying to analyze what really could have gone possibly wrong with the BJP. बहुत बड़ा disappointment है आपको?
डिसअपॉइंटमेंट तो है मैडम, क्योंकि हम सोचे कि मोदी जी आने से हम लोग जीत जाएंगे, पर हम लोगों को बहुत कष्ट तकलीफ हो रहा है. फिर भी अगर मैं सोचता हूँ कि येदियुरप्पा को आगे करते तो शायद जीत सकते थे.
Most of them feel that the absence of Mr. Yediyurappa in active electoral politics could have been the possible reason for the BJP's, for the numbers not really going in favor of the BJP. I have with me another fan here. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೇನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು BJP?
ಮೇಡಮ್, BJP ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಹಿಜಾಬಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಹಿಜಾಬಲ್ಲೇ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಸು. ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರು ಅವರ ಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅದು.
Right. So he seems to suggest that several of the initiatives that were taken, especially the polarization tactics of the BJP, could have possibly gone wrong
Right.
for the BJP. But right now, well, it seems like things are in favor of the Congress.
All right. Thanks, Pratibha. We'll come back to you in a moment. We're joined now by Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, senior leader of the Congress party. Thanks, Dr. Singhvi, very much for being with us. As far as you are concerned, Dr. Singhvi, is it a done deal now, or are you calling the election soon, or do you see any substantial changes or small changes, or is it a done deal?
Well, I'm by nature a cautious person.
Really?
So I never consider anything a done deal till it is done. But I have, from experience, and you know more about this, Vishnu, learned that 12 o'clock is a reasonably accurate time to call an election under the EVMs. Actually, the thing is truly known only after 2:33. But actually, I have not found normally things going wrong. 11:30 is a dangerous time, as many of you do call it.
Yeah.
But 12 o'clock, and I am happy we are having it at 12:15. I think more or less, unless some miracle happens in favor of the BJP, and miracles do happen, I am quite sure that they are not having a defeat. They are having a major defeat. Your figures, I want to start by saying one thing. I would like to ask the Honorable Home Minister of India, that sentence of his which will haunt him, and none of you are playing that on the channel. Please take it from me in writing. We are getting 150. Remind me of this in writing after the results are out. Well, I'm doing that. I'm doing his bidding. I'm reminding him through you.
Dr. Singhvi, sorry, sir, Dr. Singhvi, if I may ask you, because being an ace lawyer, there have been many cases for other parties and for your own party where you had to go to court when the victory margin was very, very close. Are you, with these numbers which are at this moment showing on our screens, 123 for the Congress, confident that at least for next 5 years, Karnataka is not going to be the one state that is going to trouble you?
That is the only sense of regret I have, ironically, in this case. Not the winning of the election is a great joy, but the fact that forensically and professionally, one is not going to have a triple satisfaction. Remember the midnight hearing, but there was a second Karnataka hearing, both of which I think not electorally or politically, but with my forensic hat I enjoyed. And that, I think, that pleasure will be denied to us this time. We are quite safe. There is no need to go to any court. And I don't think any legal acrobatics will be required.
Sir, you've got two very strong contenders publicly declared, perhaps rare for the Congress party to have two candidates, any candidate publicly declare as a chief ministerial aspirant, but two candidates publicly declaring that they are chief ministerial aspirants. Are you worried that there could be factions within the party? Who's going to be the one who's going to keep the whole thing together now?
See, this is not at all uncommon. You know it, I know it. This ambition is positive ambition. It is normal. It happens in every party. Some is more relatively muted, some is more stated. And this is true of almost every state where experienced old parties like Congress have many contenders. And equally, all of them say in the same breath that the Congress will decide on the basis of the MLAs and in consultation with the High Command. And that's the way it is working. So I think not too much should be read in it. We have very, very experienced persons. And you will find that it has been going to be as smooth a transition to a chief minister as smooth a victory it was. But can I just make 2 or 3 larger points which interest me, if you
yes,
don't
please,
mind?
Go ahead, sir.
See, the larger points which interest me are not the nitty-gritty, which of course we know about. And I went twice to Bangalore, and in the recent past, I was reasonably confident of a clear majority. I didn't know the numbers, but we crossed the mid-mark, was clear in my mind. But the point I wish to make is, look at the desperation of the ex-ruling BJP in Karnataka and the central leaders. We tend to forget. Everything is hunky-dory after the results are out. Every speech was started with a religious divisive symbol. I'm not talking only of Bajrang Bali. I'm talking of every other speech. And I don't want to repeat it. Every figure of religious symbolism in Hindu religion was used, misused, and repeatedly misused. The people of Karnataka held firm. Then again, you had Mr. Modi doing possibly more than he does in any election. I know you've been asked that question on your channel. In fairness, he must come out front and take the bullet in the 56-inch chest. I remember in 2004, the only person who came out with me on one of your channels at India Gate was Pramod Mahajan. And we started the conversation with this. He said, my colleague should have been out.
Well, Dr. Singhvi, tell me one thing. Dr. Singhvi, while you know the numbers are there in front of us, and it seems that you will win the election, at this stage, by the way, sir, 54% of all votes have been counted according to the Election Commission as of 12:15. My question is this: the vote share of the BJP hasn't gone down. So in as much as you call it a victory in terms of seats, one could argue that it is exactly what you said has not worked for the BJP, which may have taken them to this point, led by the Prime Minister and his narrative in the last 12 days of the campaign.
Let's assume that the vote share is the same. I don't think it will remain the same by the time you have the figures. You can take it from it, it will go down. But let's assume it's the same. Are we forgetting the corresponding point that there is a huge, huge increase in the vote share of the Congress?
Of course there is.
That's the swing. That's the vote. The swing to you equally means a swing against me. Vishnu, you understand that. I mean, it's not just a swing to you. It's a swing against me. So that is forgotten. It's a huge swing. Number 2, you see the map, which you will be displaying on the screen some time ago from the other channels. It's a cross. Yeah. BJP is in pockets here and there. That blue which you show for the Congress is a cross.
Okay, Dr. Singhvi, we're just interrupting you now because Basavaraj Bommai is speaking. It's important. Let's listen.
Yes.
Now coming in the final stages, we have been not able to make the mark in spite of a lot of efforts have been put up by everybody, right from our Prime Minister to the workers. Congress has able to make the mark, and we'll do the detailed analysis once all the results come, because all trends are there now. Once the results come, we will do the detailed analysis, and as a political party and as a national political party, we'll not only analyze, and we'll see that what are the gaps and what are the deficiencies were there and at different levels. We will look into that and improve upon it, and we'll take this result in our stride, and we'll go ahead and reorganize the party and come back during Lok Sabha election.
Sir, is there any meeting
They're conceding this election. Basavaraj Bommai, who's been the Chief Minister, conceding the election. 2 points. We have not made the mark. And he says the Congress has been able to. So that's important. I'll just get a quick reaction from Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Dr. Singhvi, you heard that over here. Basavaraj Bommai conceding the election. Your first thoughts?
Well, that's a fair point. He's obviously spoken like a former chief minister should speak, and it answers my point just now which you asked. The 12:15 to 12:30 is the right time for fair-minded people to realize the writing on the wall. Secondly, I just before he spoke, I gave you the map of Karnataka. It's across the board. That's a very important factor, Vishnu. It shows across the state support. But equally, if you see the figures, yes, there are ups and downs in some communities, but it's across the board, across communities as well. forget the minorities, forget the SCs, forget the STs, but even broadly in the Lingayat and the Vokalega communities, in other communities, there has been a strong surge of Congress support. Maybe a little less and more.
Right, Dr. Singhvi, but the Congress's vote share increase seems to be coming at the cost of the JDS, not at the BJP. Looking at that, the 2024 election is going to be not an easy walk, sir.
Well, we'll come to that later. I think I agree with you. I don't easily extrapolate from state elections to central elections. But Karnataka has never been the kind of die-hard BJP support state which it is made out to be. It is a bit of a exaggerated projection by the BJP time and again. It's just not that. I think there'll be a huge struggle out there in 2024 as well. I think it's too early to talk about it, but this vote share changes rapidly with the good governance they're going to get. And with some luck, let me tell you, with about few more seats of 125, not 140, but few more seats there, and a little diminution there, we may be half-half. Maybe double of half of BJP. We will be reaching that figure actually. So I think there is much to be happy about. The BJP has much to be sad about. And the kind of money, the other point we tend to forget, Vishnu and your colleagues, the kind of money spent, it's an open secret that nobody can spend a fraction of the money spent by the former ruling party of BJP in Karnataka.
Right.
The kind of blitzkrieg done. Do you know the amount? Somebody calculated the cost of the rose petals or the flower petals shower. It is some gigantic, humongous figure.
But
now, this is the kind of thing which the people have withstood.
You want to ask?
Yeah, right. Dr. Singhvi, what is the one defining factor from this? I know you can't extrapolate, especially Karnataka, an assembly election to a parliamentary election. It's often been very diverse. But what's the one big national takeaway from this result for the Congress? I mean, the one...
That's a very important question. That's an important question. I think it's more a overall larger, somewhat diffused, but very important psychological point. In the last few weeks, we have seen that institutions, people, electorates can stand up to what was falsely exaggerated and projected as a BJP juggernaut. It shows that the BJP is vulnerable. It is not the elections alone. The psychology turns when you get a NCT stinging judgment by the Supreme Court, restoring the balance of power in Delhi. It was open season and open secret as to how a elected government of Delhi was being completely vandalized. Constitutional vandalism was going on as far as interference is concerned. Equally in Eknath Shinde, where the incumbent holds his seat, every finding has gone against the incumbent. Every finding. And I have the privilege of arguing both those cases.
But Dr. Singhvi, I just
now, I'm not suggesting that you change. So I think there's a psychological change in the mindset of the country that this government, A, is arrogant, is bordering on infallibility notions, and C, is certainly defeatable and vulnerable.
Dr. Singhvi, just focusing once again on Karnataka, what I found really interesting is that assuming these leads translate more or less into results, which they will, the BJP has conceded the election, would it be your the Congress making inroads in areas where the BJP has been very strong in coastal regions, in areas where the Lingayat community has been strong, and the BJP has been strong there? Would you say that this is an area where you've really made your mark, and that could be the decider, or has been the decider for you?
See, first point I will repeat, but the second point I'll agree with you. There is no doubt that in the Lingayat issue alone, if you see the narrower issue, we've held it neck to neck with them. And it has been a huge bastion for the BJP, which has been plowed into by the Congress successfully. But quite frankly, every major community, group, caste, or whatever you call it, has been pro-Congress. The figures show it. ST, SC, and minorities in huge measure. But even the other communities, South Karnataka, not bad at all.
No, South Karnataka,
Lingayat,
in fact, you probably had the maximum number of gains. But
exactly.
Dr. Singh, one place where you've not done that well is Bangalore city itself, Bengaluru city itself, where the BJP has been ahead of you. Perhaps their infrastructure push
and major campaign by the Prime Minister.
That's right.
Well, I mean, this individuated reasons can be ascribed. I have no answer for particular individual regions, but it is known that in purely or major urban areas, the BJP sometimes in these urban pockets may do well. After all, they have to get their 60 or 70 or 72 seats from somewhere. And Bangalore certainly has not been as good. But I think the overall trend is what matters. The overall trend is blue, blue, blue. You see the map. I saw it just a while ago. It's incredibly uniform across Karnataka.
And do you see, given this whole result, what do you see is the larger takeaway for Karnataka? Do you see the state moving into a bipolar battle between BJP and the Congress over a period of time? What do you see the role of the
I
JDS
wouldn't call it bipolar. I wouldn't call it bipolar, but certainly the bargaining power of the third party, sometimes very unfairly misutilized, will have become less. And I predict it will become lesser in the 24 elections and will possibly die out by the next assembly elections. That's my prediction.
That's a very important point that he's making.
Dr. Singhvi, thanks very much, sir, for being with us. And, congratulations. The BJP has conceded these elections. It appears that you are on your way to forming this government, hopefully stay with stability for a period of 5 years. I just wanted to go across to Maya, who's been watching very, very patiently. Maya, as we come to you, let's just see if we can play out what Mr. Bommai had to say a few moments back. Let's just listen in to what Mr. Bommai had to say.
Once all the results come, because they're all trends are there now, once the results come, we will do the detailed analysis, and as a political party and as a national political party, we will not only analyze, and we will see that what are the gaps and what are the deficiencies were there at different levels. We will look into that and improve upon it, and we will take this result in our stride, and we will go ahead and reorganize the party and come back during Lok Sabha election.
Right, so we've got this. Bommai has conceded defeat. I don't think the BJP has officially said it, but Basavaraj Bommai, as the manager of the campaign, has conceded this. What's the one big takeaway for you from this election?
It is indeed that the Congress, which did always have a presence in Karnataka, it was always never negated in Karnataka, but I think it has given them the confidence. It has given them the confidence going ahead that it's not that the BJP is going to win every time it stands. Every time Prime Minister Modi comes down, it's not going to be overwhelming.
Quick question, yes or no answer. Are you worried that they may botch it up with their internal factional problems that may erupt?
Not at this stage, really. I think Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar came together at the end to present a united front. I think they're going to pull it through. I mean, if they manage to do this, if they manage to shoot themselves in the foot with these numbers...
You've got a favourite?
Then one is his last election, the other one's a troubleshooter. It's
But there's an interesting data point coming in, and I think Ankit also wanted to look at it. The urban-rural split. But I'll just talk first about the rural bit over here. This is where, Shogato, this is where the Congress has done remarkably well. So far, the Congress appears to be dominating rural
58.
seats. 58, yeah.
Of 98 seats, 58 Congress is in lead.
And 22
in fact, historically, Congress has won, the change for the Congress is plus 27. They have significantly increased the number of rural seats also that they have won. From 31 last time, they are now at this moment leading about 58. The BJP with 22 leads historically from 43 have come down 21 seats. So that's important. But largely in the rural areas, the BJP, the Congress is expected to do well in that sense. In the urban seats, 52 of those, 27 going to the BJP, 25 as far as the Congress is concerned. So that's largely, the BJP has been able to, and I think that was also the focus of the Prime Minister. Whatever you are losing in the rural, try and just capitalize and at least, minimize your losses in the urban areas as well.